There were about 8 or 9 Spanish ships of the line with accompanying frigates, and coming up slowly to merge with another pack. And that pack, good God. 17 at the least, tall-sided, ugly brutes they were, 2-decker 68s, 74s, and 80-gunners, some of them 3-deckers, and one monstrous 4-decker, flying more admirals' flags than sail canvas, it seemed. And so stuffed with guns that every time she lit off a broadside, it looked like a mountain blowing up. And here they were, curling about into a rough V, sandwiched like a forlorn nut between 2 arms of a nutcracker, 15 warships of Admiral Sir John Jervis's fleet, formerly the Mediterranean fleet, before they'd been run out of that sea the previous summer, all just about as bad off as Jester in material condition when you got right down to it, yet blithely standing into danger as though they were about as fresh as new-picked daisies, or as belligerent as a rutting bulldog. With their artillery crashing and bellowing, making that thunder, sending shockwaves through the sea. "I can make out, sir," Lieutenant Ralph Knollys attempted to say, as he took off his hat and swiped both forearms of his coat at his hair and brows. A bad sign, that. Usually one nervous hand over his blonde locks was sufficient sign of worry. "Aye, Mr. Knollys," Commander Alan Lewrie replied, sounding almost calm in comparison. "Beyond, sir," Knollys pointed towards the Spanish fleet. "It may not be a convoy. About 8 or 9 more rather large ships over yonder, to the west-northwest. Do they all assemble, sir? Well—" "2-deckers, do you think, sir?" Lewrie frowned, stepping to the starboard side of his quarterdeck, leaning on the bulwarks, and raising his telescope for a look-see. The smoke from all the gunfire was thick, a sulphurous, reeking mist which hazed the day even worse. More than a few British line-of-battle ships stood between him and the ones Knollys had sighted too, their gun-smoke and towering masts and sails obscuring what little he could see. But he could barely make out 3 masters yonder, well up to weather and almost hull down from the Spanish line. "Least an hour or more off," he thought, "sailing large, to come down to join?" He couldn't tell. "As if we need more," he sneered to himself. "Already got a bloody armada here anyway, on its way north to join the French fleet waiting at Brest, the Dutch fleet too, transports most like, carrying troops for an invasion of Ireland, or England. And if Admiral Jervis threw away his ships in this action, then what hope did Lord Bridport and the Channel Fleet at Portsmouth have to stop them, or even get word of their coming in time to— Taking this lot on's like a horsefly deliberately landing on a game table, sure to get swatted, Lewrie speculated. Has to be done, no error. Growl ye may, but go ye must, and all that. "Christ!" was Lewrie's sudden uncaptainly comment, and a rather loud comment it was too. In his telescope's ocular, he'd just discovered the fore end of a ship of the line which wasn't crossing right to left, sailing obediently in the battle line. He was looking at the beakhead and figurehead, the cutwater and frothing bow wave below an out-thrust bowsprit and jib-boom of a warship, pointing right at him. "Hands where ship!" Lewrie yelped, eyes wide in disbelief, as he lowered his glass in shock. "Helm hard aweather!" Seen with normal vision, unenlarged, wasn't much better as she bored direct for his Jester. HMS Captain, third but last from the tail end of the line, was swinging out of line alee, and loomed close enough to trample them, if Jester didn't get out of her way. "The Captain," Mr. Midshipman Hyde gawped. "Commodore Nelson," Mr. Midshipman Spendlove supplied. "That bugger!" Lewrie opined, as his crew sprang to loosen braces and headsail sheets. He heard Lieutenant Knollys and Boatswain Coney barking urgent orders, felt the deck shift under his feet as his ship heeled to wear about, falling off the wind, spared a second to observe that things were well in hand, then spared a longer glower at Nelson and his 2-decker. No one left the sacred order of the line of battle, no one, not ever. The fighting instructions were nigh to gospel, and God pity the fool who disobeyed them. To turn away lured, away from presenting a broadside to those Spanish warships, that could be called cowardice in the face of the enemy, a hanging offence. "Bugger!" Commander Lewrie snarled again. Not only was Nelson swinging clear of danger, he was forcing